Brett Perigo, tonight's second place finisher. Plenty of fans here, Brett, and a solid second place finish.
Yeah, I got to shout out the Turn 2 Terribles over there. They're all a bunch of good guys to hang out with and talk to. I really like them.
How are you doing tonight, man?
Hey, I'm talking here. You know who you're talking to? Macho Man! I'm on my way to Monday Night Raw.
The second one.
Your choice.
It's a trap.
I feel like it is. I feel like he's setting up fights in the front stretch is what he's trying to do.
Speedway. We've got Devin Gordon with us.
At Keen Motorsports Shop here with Kyle Keen.
Sitting here with Sean Keen. We're going to talk a little bit about racing history.
Yep.
Sunday, October 19th, 2025. I am Jimmy here with Jay-Z. We are the Turn 2 Terribles. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in on this Sunday night. We got a good show planned for you. We're going to recap the past week's racing, with Lincoln coming to a close with the final 50 and their makeup feature yesterday. You also had High Limit at Lucas Oil and 2 races at Texas to end out their season. And then we had World of Outlaws as well. They actually are racing right now. They'll be doing their dash soon, so we'll commentate on that a little bit as that goes on, as you know, live here. So and then we'll take a look at the upcoming weekend here. Season's winding down, but we do got a good show at BAPS on Saturday we'll talk about, and more. So thanks, appreciate everybody in the chat showing up. Magby, Steph, Mandy, Santos, what's going on, everybody? It was good to be at Lincoln yesterday with a lot of yous. It was a good time. What's going on, Dave? Good way to end the season yesterday at Lincoln. JC, how are you tonight?
Not too bad. Still getting used to the Sunday night thing. I was like doing something earlier, and I was like, "Oh wait, we got to do a show here in a little bit." You know, if y'all like actually think we prepare for any of this, we were, you know, I was like, "Oh, I forgot we're going to do this tonight." So here we are, man. Excited to be here. Lincoln wrapped up, and you know, the way Lincoln wraps up, it was a pretty good night overall. But we'll get into that.
Yeah. As always, Austin Griffey says, reporting live with no broken ribs. That's good. We're worried for you there for a second, buddy. He got taken out on last night. But yeah, we're going to get right into it. Let's get into Lincoln yesterday. Beautiful Saturday afternoon, 70 degrees, sunny. And you had 4 features to end out the season here at Lincoln to decide the points title. And you had the two makeup features for the 410s and the 358s, and then you had the final 50 in the final race for the 358s as well. So a lot of racing, a lot of laps. Definitely got your money's worth. But start with the makeup feature here because that was what was run first. Where Freddie Raymer gets to win over J.J. Loss, Kyle Moody, Cam Smith, Jari McIntyre, Brandon Raymer, Matt Campbell, Caleb Johnson, Troy Wagaman Jr., and Dylan Norris, your top 10. This one kind of just swung the entire points because Troy was up by like 100 something going into this. He had the pole on a restart. JJ Loss, it looked like they got together, ran over his right front tire, ended up causing a big pileup behind all of them. Billy Dietrich involved, a few others. And then obviously he had to get taken out on a hook. Now, obviously, they were able to get repairs, and Troy did a fantastic job of coming back from that to at least, try to do some damage control in the point situation. But with Freddie winning, he ran a great race here. It really flipped the points going into the final 50 later on in the night. Yes, that's really it. It was unfortunate to see that big pile up. Billy Dietrich, what's going on, Billy? Bullshit race. Yeah, I mean, it was that start was a mess, man, and it caused a big pile up throughout the back. A lot of good cars up front that had good starting positions got taken out. It was unfortunate.
So I fortunately or unfortunately, I had to watch this one on Flow. Wasn't there in time to see it, and I hate everything about this.
Yeah,
As everyone should have, including many of the drivers. Clearly, this was the third attempt to start this race.
Mm-hmm.
The first one was a jump, didn't get called. Had a yellow or red. Second one was a little better. We had a yellow or red, and the third one basically took Troy out of the points title.
Yeah.
It ruined his point. It ruined his. I don't want to say opportunity, but he would have finished in the podium of this race, very likely. But he never had a chance to find out, and it's bullshit, and I hate it. And I want to be careful how I use my words here because this is on JJ. Inexperience, over aggressiveness, bad situational awareness, whatever you want to call it. This shouldn't happen. They fucked around on the first restart. He jumped that one. They didn't call it back. They should have called it back yellow before anybody crashed on the first one. I don't know. I don't understand what's so hard about it. They're a stickler about these starts and restarts, and that one was okay.
Yeah, neither one.
It wasn't even close.
Mhm.
I'm actually glad I was watching on the stream because it was even worse. If you're there, maybe it didn't look bad. I don't know.
I felt
But
like
it was bad.
I felt like the first one was I was standing in the infield, and I felt like it was, but maybe it was close enough. Maybe it was just my angle. You know what I mean? And I thought the one that they got tangled up on was even a jump because he was half a car length ahead of Troy, and that's why he ended up jumping his front wheel.
Now, when I say all those things sort of disparaging, I also don't blame him for trying to go win a race from lap one because on these starts, we know in sprint car racing that start matters a lot. I don't blame him, but don't screw it up for a guy fighting for the points title. If you're on the front row and you want to play fuck around games with other guys that are 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 12th, or 20th in points, okay. But man, start the race. Go race it out. Start the race and go race it out. And I don't think Troy got a fair shot here. Based on watching the replay over and over again, there's two sides to every story. But this didn't look good. It's bad all the way around. Kudos for everybody. I saw Danny Dietrich was in the pits. I saw Tyler Ross was around there on the stream helping to get Troy back out. And that's what the pit area does. That's not a new thing, but got back out there to run ninth to give him a shot in the second one, which we'll talk about. Still got it down, and it came within 5 points, but it shouldn't have been close. It should not have happened. As we get through the night and we talk about the second one, like, shout out Troy for keeping his cool and at least not having us unravel and fall apart. And the sun and the visors, like, I don't know. Billy should be here tonight because he was living this. Like Billy should be on here with us and talking about it.
Yep.
He's
Well,
probably more angry about this than we are.
he,
But
he
like,
he put in the chat here, said Lincoln do better open red for sunglasses or visors. Stupid. Every team knew about the sun. I agree. It is
yeah, did they
kind of
forget
weird
that the
to
sun
do
was
that.
going to go down?
Yeah, I mean, we saw it was a beautiful afternoon. I mean, and I'll give I thought the track was pretty good for it being sunny mid afternoon. I mean, we still ran in probably almost 2 hours of sunlight before it went dark. So I thought the track held up very well, considering how many laps and everything got put on. Um, but yeah, I mean, you feel for Troy here, but you feel for everybody involved in that, just because it caused a huge stack up, and like it took guys like Billy out, a couple others, um, just really, and the fact that
Unnecessary.
it was unnecessary, and the fact that it was kind of there was sort of a jump in the first one and not called. Maybe if that was called, maybe it prevents this. You know what I mean? I don't know. Um, it's just unfortunate. I mean, part of racing, I guess, but um, you know, and like you said, good job by Troy, not only just keeping his cool, but then he came out pretty aggressive, and he was really aggressive coming through the field then, um, to get up into the top 10.
Yeah, and there was even, I want to say, on these starts they called back one of the single file restarts because JJ jumped it. Why are we not doing it on a full side where it tore up a bunch of
Yeah.
cars?
Yeah.
Like,
Where the guys clearly like almost a full car length ahead before they
it
even
makes
fire. Before they
it gave
even
me the
fire.
vibe. Yeah, it gave me the vibe of like, well, we want to get this over with. Like, it was an afterthought. Didn't really care about it. Just let this thing go so we can get it over with. But no, there's a points title at and now look what happens, right? Troy wins or finishes second. Freddie's one spot. This second feature becomes basically just start and finish the race.
Yeah.
Now it becomes an actual thing. And kudos to Freddie for going and winning the race. He did his job.
Yeah. Yep.
But then he was also in Victor Lane talking a little bit of shit on these starts, which is very true. But I hope there weren't being arrows pointed at Troy on those comments, because he didn't do anything wrong on these. And I like both of those guys. I like JJ, I like Troy, but he didn't do anything wrong. He's trying to start the damn race.
Yeah, he's the leader.
If you want, there's just
In-
games
in-
being
in-
played. Yeah, he's the leader
in those cases,
and controls
he's
the
leader,
race.
He's controlling it. So
That's correct. He controls the race. And if you control the race, he did not control the start of the race as the leader.
Right.
So, and the one time he did, he got run over.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, the second one was probably the most equal one, to be honest. The one it didn't with the Dallas shot one. So I don't know, man. Just and I think everybody, if you're a racer, if you're a team, you just want consistency. You don't necessarily want to have unfairness. You just want consistency, and this didn't feel like that.
Yeah. Billy goes, guarantee you if I'm on the front row, it's a penalty and move rows.
No, no, you only move rows after the warning. You get the warning first.
You get a warning. Tyler Koenig says there were some jumping calls that were missed in the makeup feature as well. Why so many there? Is it just the way you come off a turn full? Like, it always seems like Lincoln's like one of the worst ones. Like, and not like, I don't mean officiating wise. I'm just saying like in terms of like trying to get a start, it seems easy to jump.
The initial starts, they moved the initial start line way off turn 4.
Yeah.
And they did that from what I remember, they did that so the tower could see better. But then your restarts are in the middle of 3 and 4 at any point that leader can fire. So I don't know. I mean, 358 wise, I mean, these guys got to do it. The drivers have to in the 358s because it's hard to pass. So they're doing whatever they can to take advantage. And honestly, if they're not calling it, you better be doing it too. I guess that's the thing in the 358 division.
Yeah,
you better make them make a decision.
Make them call it. Make them make the decision. Make. It's kind of like in like football, like put the official in that spot to do it until there's a reason not to. Essentially, Tyler says, "Rule is you have to be within the frame rails of the car in front of you, all the way to the cone. If you're out of line at all, it's technically a jump by the rule book." Well,
that would be every restart.
Yeah.
So it's either you enforce your rules or you don't. And if they're not going to enforce them, you better know it, and you better do what you got to do. Tell your driver, do what you got to do.
But yeah, I mean, hey, Freddie here, like you said, can't take anything away from him. He did what he needed to do here. It would have been nice to see, like with none of that happened. Billy was starting fourth here, Troy on the pole, and then you had Freddie there starting third. I think it would have been cool to see all those guys battle it out without having any of this in the middle to kind of ruin it. But either way, it was entertaining to watch Troy come up through the field a little bit. Good runs here by Matt Campbell, 16th to 7th. Caleb Johnson, I forgot he was even in this makeup feature. I knew he was coming, but I forgot he was actually in the makeup feature. 13th to 8th. Brandon Raymer, 14th to 6th. And top 5 for Gerard McIntyre as well. But yeah, I mean, I thought the racing was all around pretty good, and like I said, I thought the track for most of the night was pretty spot on, in my opinion. I mean, for me as a fan, I don't know how it was for the competitors. You know what I mean? Maybe they probably have their own thoughts. And I know towards the end of the night, I mean, the track is shit at that point, and you're pretty much at the bottom. But I mean,
yeah, I mean, by the time you got to the 358, the last one, it was rubbered up around the bottom, but I think we all saw that coming. So
yeah, I think we all, and it sucks, but I don't know. Are you really going to go and take a 45-minute track prep break for, unfortunately, you're not going to do it at that point in the night. So, Cam Merriman, who we're going to talk about here in a little bit, congratulations. He says it would probably be simpler to draw a narrow box, 2 chalk lines, if you will, where the leader can fire. All this shit happens because they demand you fire at the line, but there's clearly some wiggle room. So it's all about finding how much you can abuse the Jesus Christ, why can't I say that word?
ambiguity.
Yes, thank you, Jesus.
Gotcha.
I
got you, buddy. I'm here for you.
I can normally say it, but I don't. I'm still.
I want to have Chris do that at the end of one of our shows. Try to say that word.
But yeah, I agree. I don't understand why it's not a zone, and why is it always? I get it's easier at the line, but there's so much. I don't know. Put 2 cones and hey, leader controls the start and could start anywhere between here and here. You know what I mean?
Because when it's a line, think about if you're the leader, and it's just a line, and everybody knows the leader goes at the line. That makes it awfully fucking predictable, doesn't it? And you're gonna get your ass slid and ran past in 1 and 2.
And that
if a guy leads back just a little bit.
There's if you know exactly where they're going to go, that allows these people, everybody else behind you, to know exactly where they need the fire too, to maybe just hey, I could get away with this little much extra to get an advantage.
Yep.
Yeah, Dave, good point. Shout out to Kyle Moody for a good run as well. He runs with a podium finish here in 3rd. So yeah, absolutely good run for Kyle Moody. All right, let's talk about the final 50. And I'm gonna scroll up here. And this was an entertaining race, where Cam Smith got the win over Troy Wagaman, Danny Dietrich, Freddie Raymer, Tyler Ross, Brock Zierfoss, Preston Latimus, Brandon Raymer, Aaron Bollinger, and Billy Dietrich getting the top 10. Your quick time was Chase Dietz with a 13.284 lap time. Your heat race winners were Brock Zierfoss, Danny Dietrich, Tyler Ross, and Cam Smith. Your hard charger was Brandon Raymer, 23rd to 8th, plus 15 spots, and your B-main winner was Jordan Givler. Cam Smith got a hold of this race lead a little bit. Was it after halfway, or was it? No, it was right before the halfway break.
No, it was
right
after because
right after.
He had just passed Lance at the break, but it didn't count.
Right.
For second.
And then he pretty much checked out from there. He did everything he needed to do in lap traffic to kind of hold it off. There was a late race caution that brought out a 1-lap shootout.
We had 2 of them. We had a 2-lap shootout and then a 1-lap shootout.
1-lap shootout. But you had Chase Dietz getting up and over the cushion. He was running up there around 3rd, I believe, 3rd or 4th at the time. Hopped the cushion up in 3 and 4, it looked like, and went for a ride. And who else did it collect? It collected somebody else that was also running pretty well up in the top 10. Was it JJ Loss? I think it was JJ
Yes.
Loss.
Yeah, he was a little shaken up too when he got out.
Oh, was he? Okay. But it took those two guys out, and those were actually two cars that were in between Troy and Fred. Well, Chase was right in between.
Chase was.
Chase was, and then I think JJ was right behind Freddie. Either way, it took away at that point in the race. Troy had the title locked up with that wreck, without allowing Freddie to move up a spot. It tossed it over to 5 points in the Freddie Raymer's favor, and that's how it ended for the track title there. So kind of that just kind of double whammy for Troy. Kind of triple, you get taken out of the first one to lose the point lead. You come one spot away from winning final 50, and then you're basically that one spot was actually probably what you needed to win the track title as well. So you feel bad for Troy, but still fantastic season for him. But I think the story of the night is Cam Smith. What a fantastic run on such a long race. It just, showing some, I don't know if maturity is the word or whatever, but just kind of wise beyond his years, the way he ran that race. Because you have to run that race a little bit differently than a normal feature. You know what I mean? And he put himself in a position and did what he needed to at the end, and did a fantastic job. So congratulations to Cam.
Yeah, this was fun. Cam ran down, I think Freddie at the time, right? Freddie was leading kind of in running the top. He ran down Freddie, got by Freddie, and then continued to run the top. I thought for sure once he got by Freddie, he would go to the bottom like in 1 and 2. And he didn't. He just kept ripping the fence, and he stuck with it all the way to the end until the late race restart, single file with Troy behind him. He went to the bottom. And I'll tell you what, we all knew the bottom was getting good, but he was still making like enough speed on both ends on the top that he wasn't passing his main lap cars. I think it was Givler, that he was right behind for lap after lap after lap running, but nobody else was catching up to him. Like Troy wasn't making up a ton of ground, and he just kept ripping the top and ripping the top and ripping the top, and no one else could do it. No one else was really making any time, especially in 1 and 2 on the top. And man, Cam had that thing hooked up, and it was a rocket ship. So you listen, it was a weird thing. I got a text message with the yellow or the red flag with Chase, and it said, "Oh, I'm super loud. All right, I'll turn mine down."
No, it might be me.
Said that that like Troy, if it all finished where it was, Troy was winning by 5. As soon as Chase wrecked, he's down by 5. So now I'm in a spot where I'm like, damn, I want Cam to win this, but now I got to have, if I'm rooting for Troy to win the points title, I need him to win the race. And I want him to win the race, sure, always, but like, I don't want to be taken from Cam Smith. That's pretty cool. So definitely sucks kind of the way it all played out there. Like, but at the same time, I don't know when Lance broke.
Yeah.
At that point, Troy would have still not been the points leader because Freddie was still leading. So and winning is a big point gap, right, to second. So just amazing how that all played out. And I don't think anybody really, unless you were really following along, like I did, if I didn't get a text message, I would have had no clue what the points stood at with the red flag. I had no idea. That would have been fun to know and kind of follow along with as you come down to the last few laps of an entire season to know who the point title, the champion could be. So, pretty cool. Not an awful race at all for 50 laps. That break-in was really long in the middle.
It was.
Most teams were done, completed, and had their work done before they were done.
Yeah, I was gonna say that it felt like I felt like teams were starting to walk off already and we're kind of done. And then I heard, 5 more minutes to teams. I'm like, why are we giving them? Do we need another 5 more minutes? But, you could try to take advantage of every second, I guess. But yeah, it did. It felt pretty long. Get some comments here. Sounds like Jimmy is still hungover. No comment. Billy says, unless you're wearing a receiver radio, you have no clue what goes on with these starts and officials.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no
I mean,
doubt.
yeah,
I mean, I no, we're only seeing what we see.
yeah.
The background of the rest of it, what I know that you guys how the what's the word I want to use here? Forgive me because I don't have one. I'd love to get one actually for next year. Um, from what I've been told by drivers, most of the night they feel like they're being talked down to by the person on the other end all night long, from beginning to end, and being told what to do, being talked down to, being yelled at. There's a lot of there's issues there for sure, and many drivers have told me these things. I don't know, maybe it's different, maybe I'm wrong on that, but that's what I've been told. So I don't blame them at all for when it does go wrong, for being pissed off about all of it. Don't blame them at all. And it's got to be frustrating as hell. Last race of the year, getting your shit torn up because of whatever on restarts and what you're, however, the whole process has to be frustrating. I completely get it.
Uh, Tyler says, still amazing that you race the entire year and it comes down to a restart where we'll have to go in the last feature. Yeah, that's what it came down to. I mean, it came down to the very last lap for the track title here for the 410s. I agree, Tyler. And then Tyler Murray says, most improved driver for a reason. Hell of a season for Cam. He's definitely going to be up there when we talk about we do our year-end report cards and everything here in a couple weeks. He's definitely going to be somebody that we talk about a lot, I think, because he's really the consistency he has found this year is really impressive for such a young driver and getting these wins already, but not just getting the wins. Even when he doesn't have a winning car, he's still running right around that top 5, every week. So that's impressive. It's not easy to do. You see a lot of guys, they can come, that puts you into the conversation with a lot of the top names in the area when you can run consistently up there.
No doubt about it.
Thanks, Cam Merriman, as well. Thank you for letting me know the audio balance was off. I hope it's better now. If it's not, let me know. Yeah, any other thoughts from the 410 race here?
Honestly, some really good runs here. Preston Latimus, 11th to 7th. Brandon Raymer, just passing cars. 15th to 9th for Bollinger. Billy passed some cars there. Like for it was a racy racetrack. I saw top, I saw bottom. It late in that one, it became got a little worn out for sure. But there was a lot of things that went on. A lot of cars passed race cars.
Kyle Moody's another
See you,
one,
Billy.
24th
Thanks for
to 12th.
thanks for
Billy.
stopping in, Billy. Appreciate you, brother.
Kyle Moody, 24th to 12th as well. Jorah McIntyre, 19th to 13th, and Jordan Givler from the B main, the 14th. Good run for him as well. Some of that is, there's a couple DNFs here. Don't get me wrong, but still looked solid out there, sticking with it. 358s. Got to give a shout out. The makeup feature first. Did I pass it? No. I think it's at the bottom. Was Dylan Norris getting the win over Scott Fisher and Frankie Herr, Cody Fletcher and Bo Gordon, top 5, Andy Bess, Ashley Capetta, Jude Siegel, Tyler Ulrich, Jane Wolf, your top 10. Dylan Norris coming from 9th place in this feature to go get the win. More of what we've seen Dylan Norris do in a 358 in that number 6 car. And he ends up, he does take down the track title here at Lincoln. Deservedly so. I mean, he was definitely I think the best car there, despite what other people might say, if it's legal or not. You've heard all that stuff, I'm sure, but I think probably the best car there all year, without a doubt. But
no, it's just this one had Dylan Norris taking the win, and the points title. Dylan had a hell of a run as season got going. Jaden Wolf was in the hunt there for quite some time, pretty close, and he had a really good year as well. But I would want to say Logan Spar was running second in that A main until the car broke, and for a guy, his second or third race, in a 358 from the 305 division, holding his own there when the track was still fairly racy. Just a really nice job. They had some mechanical stuff going on in that one, but go back. Is this? Can you go back down to that real quick? Looking at that one, Second and third here, Scott Fisher and Frankie Herr. We know Scott Fisher. He's calling it a career. He's hanging up the helmet. Done. We talked about that actually all the way back at the fallen firefighter race with him on our live from there. He talked about that, and this was his last night. So a second there, and from what I think I know, Frankie might be calling it a career as well. Didn't make an announcement there, but I think that might be going on. Those guys on the podium is pretty cool.
Yeah,
just wanted to kind of note that.
And then in the final feature of the year, the one after the 50 here, Cameron Merriman with the win over Cole Small. Great run by Cole Small here. Finishing second. Braden Mickley, Andy Best, Jude Siegel, Jaden Wolf, Cody Fletcher, Tyler Ulrich, Adam Carberry, and Matt Finley, your top 10. Great win for Cam Merriman. He was jacked up in victory lane. It was awesome to see him get the win here. It was a tricky track. I mean, it was hard to pass, and he did what he needed to do and got the win.
Yeah, super cool. I had to feel like he was the favorite starting where he started. Made quick work of Braden, I want to say, and then honestly, Cole Small was out and going pretty good there in green flag. They had a yellow, and you just got to think, while Cam isn't super experienced, that car is really fast. It felt like Cole might have been a little bit of a sitting duck there, and he was. But Cole Small, man, hung on, did his job, right? There's look at Andy Best, Jude Siegel, Jaden Wolf, Cody Fletcher, Tyler Ulrich, Adam Carberry. Like, that's not slouches, right? Even Braden Mickley hanging on for a podium. Honestly, obviously the track, wasn't overly racy or made it very competitive there, but these guys did their jobs. They could have just as easily not done the things they needed to do to stay there, and they did. So shout out, Cole and Braden. That's I think career best finishes for them for sure in a feature. This is what this division is about in handicap racing. This is what it used to be. Everyone gets that. You get a chance to run up front, see what the speed looks like up here. And, they did a good job. And Cole Small, for all the challenges and, things he's had the last couple of years getting up to speed. I saw a post from, I think, his mom today, and just super proud of Cole. And, he really, I think as you started this season even, and you got into middle of the year at Lincoln, and he got some racing in at Lincoln. He really turned a corner and ran up front in some heats. He won a B main, really kind of turned the corner on his driving. I still don't think he has, the top of the top motor or equipment, but he turned a corner as a driver, and you can see what you can do in this division when you start to figure it out a little bit.
Yep.
You may not, go out and walk the field at times, but you can be competitive in this division without the best of the best.
Yeah, no, super impressive run by Cole Small. Good job, good improvement by him in that 358 division. Looking at the final points, again, Freddie Raymer, 5 points over Troy Wagaman. That's what separated it all at the end of the year after, how many races was it? 30? No, maybe not quite.
Did they get that many?
I don't know if they got that many in. 23 features. So 23 races at Lincoln this year. So that's after 23 races, and it's only 5 points between those two. Just goes to show. And Troy had the lead for a good part of the year, and Freddie really made a late season charge here. But he was never really out of it either. You know what I mean? He was just Troy on the top of the leaderboard every time we talked about it every week, and then Freddie got here at the end here and did what he needed to do. Cam Smith finishes third in points, 580 points back. And there it's Aaron Bollinger, who was 1,135 points back. Matt Campbell, Tyler Ross, Brandon Raymer, Chase Deach, Chad Trout, Danny Dietrich, your top 10. I only mentioned how big the gap was. Shout out to Cam, Aaron, Matt, all those guys. But just goes to show how, again, we talked about it last week, how consistently good Troy and Freddie are. They're up top 5 every week there at Lincoln.
No doubt.
And the points show that. And then for the 358s, Dylan Norris wins the track title over Jaden Wolf, Cody Fletcher, Jude Siegel, Andy Best, Ashley Capetta, Wyatt Hinkle, Hayden Hare, Frankie Herr and Steve Owings, your top 10 in the 358 division. Yeah, so Dylan Norris just, with his fantastic season, got this to show for it for sure, along with a bunch of wins. And Jade Wolf, I mean, we talked about him being in the hunt here for that fantastic season for him, P2 at Lincoln.
Yeah, no doubt. Great competitive year all around in that division. Looking forward to next year and what next year brings.
Cam Merriman says, I went over and gave Cole a hug at the end of the night and told him I'm proud of both of us. We were both fighting in desperation to make A-mains last year. To have us up on the podium last night was cool. Glad to see him finding speed and being racy, and I wasn't sure I could run him down if it weren't for the mid-race red. Yeah, I mean, that's awesome. That's really cool between two competitors right there. And like you said, like just the improvement that, struggling to make it features, and now here you are all the way at the end of the season, and you're able to be on the podium together. That's a super cool moment, and that's exactly what it's about, man. It's great. Final thoughts from Lincoln. I had a great time. We camped there for the weekend. There was a couple other campers there. Some people came out on Saturday. Pretty decent crowd. It was a beautiful day. And like I said, I thought the track crew did pretty much all that they could with considering how much that they were going to run. And I thought the track held up pretty well, considering there was a 50-lap feature. Fantastic job by the track crew there. And, just all around great night and great way to cap off the season there.
Yeah, no doubt. It was a pretty good crowd. I got there super, super late, and it was the furthest I parked away from the racetrack in a long time at Lincoln. I usually am there pretty. I don't want to say pretty early, but early enough to get a decent spot. And there was a lot of cars there, so that was cool for Lincoln. Hopefully, they made out well for the night.
Got a shout out. I can't remember his name, but he was driving a golf cart around, shuttling people around to in the parking lots, and definitely saved us a lot of time walking back to our campsite. So that's awesome. Thank you. Lincoln season's over, and another season coming to a close was High Limit this week. They had 3 races this week, and we're going to start at Lucas Oil Speedway on Wednesday, I believe it was. Yeah, it was Wednesday, where Brent Marks gets the win over Aaron Reitzel, Cy Lynch, Justin Peck, Brad Sweet, Rico Abreu, Hunter Schoenberg, Tanner Thorson, Hank Davis, and Landon Crawley. Your top 10. Your quick time was Rico Abreu. Your heat race winners were Peck, Reitzel, and Lynch. And then your hard charger was Brad Sweet, 10th to 5th. Brett Marks getting the win. Awesome to see. Aaron Reitzel gave it a shot at the end, but wasn't enough.
Yeah, it's like obviously being a fan of Brent, it's like, man, what he's been doing here the last probably 3-4 weeks and really got that thing rolling. Pick off a few more throughout the year. It's sort of what could have been with the points chase, and I'm sure he's looking forward to 2026. And all while I'm sure they're ready for a break, and I'm sure they're partying hard tonight, I'm sure he's also looking at 2026, going, okay, it's time. Like we're gonna get after this thing. They started 2025 that way, but go back in time, he won the season finale last year with High Limit. So, kind of figured some things out here late season. Hopefully that takes some momentum in 2026 for him and that team.
Yeah. The yellow car, man, it's just Brent's steadily improved, but it seemed like once he broke out that yellow car, and it was a new car, am I correct? Like it was a whole new everything?
I think so, yeah. I think so, yeah.
That car has done wonders for him. I mean, he's stepped it up a little bit of a notch. So whatever they're doing there with that yellow car, they've kind of figured something out here that maybe for 2026, like you're saying, like they could really go in with a head of steam here, because he's been really impressive here the last quarter of the season here for sure. Definitely took us an extra step up. He was already good. He was already pretty good, consistent, but he started competing for some more wins here the last half of the year, last quarter of the year, and gets one here in the midweek series.
And this also closed out the midweek series championship, right?
Yes.
And
Rico
There you go.
Abreu won it by 1 point over Aaron Reitzel, and 7 points over Brad Sweet. Tanner Thorson was 4th, and Brent Marks was 5th in that midweek series. 1 point it came down to between those guys. Rico held on, which would end up being a theme as we move into Friday. I want to get to a couple comments here, though, just before I move too far. Tyler Koenig, going back to Lincoln here. What could have been for Ashley Capetta if we didn't break a camshaft, leading the points mid-season. Still 6th in points, though, is nothing to be ashamed of. Absolutely not. Ashley ran really well this year, and it did seem like maybe after mid-season wasn't quite as good as it was early on in the season, but still, all-around fantastic season for Ashley Capetta. And then Cam Merriman says, Dylan put on an F and clinic on us this year. Jaden Wolf being that close in points is impressive. He's the winner in my heart. All right, so getting to Friday, Texas Speedway, Texas two-step. It was their all-in championship weekend. And you're going to see this top two. It was the theme of the weekend, where Rico Abreu gets to win over Darren Pittman in the 69K, going out to Texas. Giovanni Scelzi third, Brad Sweet, Dason Pursley, Aaron Reitzel, Ryan Timms, Brent Marks, Justin Sanders, Tanner Thorson, your top 10. Your quick time was Darren Pittman with a 13.585. Your heat race winners were Cy Lynch, Dason Pursley, and Gio Scelzi. And your hard charger going 19th to 12th was Chase Randall. Good run for Rico, obviously. Darren Pittman starts on the pole here. He looked super fast, but Rico was on a mission all weekend, and you could see it. Just was on another level, and goes out and wins this one.
Yeah, happy to see the 69K travel all that way and finish a race, so that's cool. They've traveled a lot this year and didn't come back with the results every week, so it was good to see that car at least finish the race.
In the green 69K too, the interstate batteries ride, so that was pretty cool to break that scheme out for probably the last time, I'm assuming, for the year. I don't think they're going to Charlotte or anything, so
I don't know.
But that was cool to see. And Darren Pittman was super fast. I mean, he, again, quick time, starts on the pole here, looked good all night long. He's been good anytime he steps in that 69K, he's been a threat to win every time. They just haven't been able to really put it all together to be able to do that. Because as we take a look here at Saturday in the final night, same top two, Rico getting the win. Darren Pittman, who starts on the pole, finishes second. But this time it's Brad Sweet who finishes third. Then it's Justin Sanders, Gio Scelzi, Cy Lynch, Ryan Timms, Aaron Reitzel, Landon Crawley, and Brennan Crouch, your top 10. Your quick time was Brad Sweet with a 14.013. Heat race winners were Justin Sanders, Darren Pittman, and Brad Sweet. And your hard charger going 13th to 8th was Aaron Reitzel. Again, 2 nights, Darren Pittman starts on the pole, finishes second. 2 nights, Rico Abreu gets his way up to the lead and wins. And then this was a walk-off to win the not only did he win the midweek championship, but he won the overall points championship with this win here over Brad Sweet.
Driver and owner?
Yes. Driver and owner.
Midweek driver and owner. I mean, can you ask for a better season? Even though we all looked at Rico like all the time, there were certain races where like, man, Rico, right? Then there were times where like, well, we're not sure. The guy sweeps the high limit. Midweek, owner, driver.
And he had, how many wins did he end up having? He has 20 wins this year? Holy shit. Now, that's not all, obviously, that's not all high limit. But, I mean,
that's a lot.
Yeah, Rico's been on a tear. So then taking a look at the points, ironically enough, Rico finishes 49 points up on Brad Sweet. Brett Marks comes in third in the driver's points. Then it's Justin Peck and Tanner Thorson, your top 5, which is pretty awesome to see. Your rookie of the year, well, Aaron Reitzel finishes 6th. Your rookie of the year finishing 7th is Dason Pursley. And then it's Brennan Crouch, Cy Lynch, and Chase Randall, your top 10. Danny Sams, 11th. And then Tyler Courtner, Spencer Baston, Gio Scelzi, and Casey Kane round out the top 15. Awesome job for, some of these rookies. I don't know. They had that thing where who was the most improved driver. I don't know if it was Cy or Dason. They haven't announced that yet. I would imagine it's Dason because he had some really strong runs here at the end of the season since we talked about that a few weeks ago. And then he wins the Rookie of the Year here. So he is a name to watch this offseason for sure and moving forward in the future. Anyway, Rico Abreu sweeps all the titles because he also wins the Owners' Championship, which this point pays out $250,000, 45 points over the Ridge and Sons 87. Then it's Casey Kane Racing, the KKR 49, the Clausen Marshall 7BC, and then the Murray Marks number 19. You're at top 10. Your franchise order now locked into the 2026 is the Rico Abreu 24, which will now go to Tony Stewart Racing since they're going to be merging. KKR 49, the 7BC, the 19, the 84, Jason Myers 14, the Buick 13, the Rudine 26.
Rod Gross, that's the
Yeah,
88.
yeah, the 88 from with the Tanner Thorson drives, and the CJB number 5 are your top 10 that are your 10 franchises going in to 2026. I mean, hey, 250 grand on top of all the winnings, for Rico. That's a hell of a season for him. And this is kind of showing you, what High Limit is bringing. They're bringing money to the table. I mean, you got to think Rico won. I mean, I don't know. I'd have to look on the sprint car ratings thing, how much he had won winnings wise, but then you add this $250,000 on top, and then I'm not sure exactly what the drivers' championship pays, if anything. But I mean,
It definitely pays. I don't know how much.
But I mean, I know he's won some big. Rico's won some big races, with some big money. But I mean, you're talking probably $500,000 for a season, at least.
650 grand. It looks like in race winnings.
So then you add the 200. So now you're closing in on $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, yeah, you got to be the best of the best to go get that. Obviously, you got to go win 20 times like he did, and be on tour all year. But I mean, you're closing in on $1 million in winnings. You're
closing on $1 million in winnings with the charter and just winnings. That's not including midweek and driver title.
That's right. Yep.
Right. And whatever else, whatever else is going on. So that should buy healthy stock of race cars over at TSR next year to get them ready to go, I'd say.
And then that's nothing to stiff at either for the 87, who had a lot of wins and then brings home 125,000. To KKR, get 49 gets 100. Fourth place gets 87,500, and fifth place gets 80,000. So some good payouts there. It goes down as throughout, but I mean, that's a hell of a season for Rico, and it's not done yet. There's still a little bit of racing left. I'm assuming they'd go to World Finals. The driver's points pays $25K as well. So there's $500,000 just to win both titles. That's wild.
Man, that's what a year. And he earned it, right? He went out and earned it. Nothing was given. What a year. And listen, I don't know the Outlaws. When it's all said and done, you add it all up, you do what you do, but there's got to be some guys over there kind of kicking their ass for not jumping in on this 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Or last year. I really think that. I mean, they have to be kicking their asses. They should be.
Mm-hmm.
So this will be this is going to be another interesting off season in the sprint car world. We'll see how it all shakes out with the Outlaws and what they do, if they counter and bring it back. And they're going to have to. They really do. Eventually, and I don't even say eventually, it would be very quick. They start losing their grasp on what they feel is the top of the king of the hill here. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to create that, but that's a real thing when it comes to driver rosters. It matters a lot. Clearly, Flo, this partnership with Brad Sweet and Kyle Larson and what they're building they're not playing around. This is not because they just were bored and wanted something to do. They are not playing around, and there's absolutely nobody who could tell me this isn't good for the sport. You just can't. You cannot do it.
Listen, looking at these points funds and everything, that's not to say that, the Outlaws pay pretty healthy too, and they've had to bump it up already because of High Limit. But man, when you go and break down and you take a look at Rico Aber's season, yeah, he had to go and have a dominant season. But I mean, Aaron Reitzel, Brad Sweet, they all had really good seasons as well. But I mean, you go and break down, and we just listen to the numbers that we just drew out, because not only do they win this from the series, but then he had flexibility to still go run all the crown jewel races and win a bunch of money. So to make it a healthy, viable thing for these teams to stay out there on the road and dedicate, a lot of all their time and everything to the series. And it, yeah, I mean, it goes down as you go through the field, obviously, but it's still, a lot better than it was probably 5 years ago. That's for sure.
When you win that much money, what could you possibly buy to be able to write off enough so you don't have to pay that much in taxes?
Yeah, that's the other thing I can imagine.
That's crazy, right? Like, no wonder these guys have new tractor trailers and haulers, every other year or something. Got to get that write down money. You got to get that write off money so we don't have to pay the government.
But yeah, congratulations to Rico. What a weekend. What a way to finish off the season by sweeping both Texas events, walking it off, and locking down that title. It was funny because I think 2 or 3 episodes ago, I was like, man, Rico hasn't had that same dominance he had early in the season. He kind of fell off a little bit, and he stepped up now. You know what I mean? And maybe some of it, maybe it's just having higher expectations than whatever for Rico, but he still has had a fantastic season and well earned.
He had his Texas program really set up. He was ready for that NASCAR Phoenix moment. He made it. He made it his weekend.
Cam Merriman, I am not biased. Hint, I am. But the production quality of the High Limit broadcast are incredible compared to the Outlaw show. All respect to Gibson, but the humor, levity, and pacing of the High Limit shows compared to these Outlaw shows that drag on with 4-feeder series sometimes is stark. I think I see which way this goes long term. I agree about the production quality. I think broadcast-wise, I still think their vision's really good. Flow is great too, but what you just said about the pacing of the shows, I love everything High Limit does. What they do in between, Tony Laporta does a great job of what he does there, and they don't have, so right now, actually, they're reading the lineup for this Outlaw feature. Emerson Axum's on the pole, but I mean, they haven't been on the track since before when we went on. They were running the dash and they didn't run a B main, so I kind of see what you're saying. Like, it just doesn't. Oh, it does. It feels different. Just some of the things that they do, but that they put into it. So I agree, but I still think the Outlaws are still very good. I think it's still a fantastic product. But I think they can take some notes from High Limit for sure.
Oh no, they wouldn't do that.
Let's talk about the Outlaws. We're gonna go to Friday at Lincoln Park Speedway here before they roll out this feature here at Angell Park Speedway. But David Gravel gets to win. A little controversy-ish. Over Carson Macedo, Bill Baylog, Cole Macedo, Garrett Williamson, Logan Schuhart, Parker Price Miller, Donnie Schatz, Kerry Metzen, and Emerson Axum, the top 10. Buddy Kofoid was your quick time. Heat race winners were Logan Julian, Darren Nida, Cole Macedo, and Bill Baylog. And then Kerry Metzen was your hard charger, going 21st to 9th, plus 12. Controversy here is because going into turn 4, last lap, David Gravel throws a tight slider and ends up spinning Buddy out, who ends up finishing 14th here instead of 2nd. A lot of people are. I'm more in the camp of it was a racing deal, but it is ironic that it was David Gravel pulling this move when there's so much talk. We remember the Kyle Larson deal between him. It created a whole line of shirts and everything for basically the same kind of move. And I understand it's for the win, and I don't blame him. It's a racing thing. It wasn't too dirty, I don't think. I just think it was kind of a very tight slider, and it pushed Buddy up enough to spin him out. No real contact made, but enough. And it's just funny that it comes from Gravel, and I think that's what a lot of people are seeing, and it's kind of like pot calling the kettle black.
Yeah, I'm with you 100% here. If this, I almost wish, because I dislike gravel enough, that I wish this was anything for the lead. Because if this was for second, third, fourth, fifth, or anywhere else, I'm killing this man, right? Because this is exactly what everybody does to him, and he cries and whines and bitches about. This was for the league, going for a win. This was all fair play to me. This is hard racing. This is
Agree.
part of the deal. I
If you-
want to hate it, but I don't.
If you want to go another layer deeper too, this is the guy he's battling for the championship with as well. So there's that little extra there to kind of maybe make one of these moves, because Buddy's been closing in a little bit, and even if David Gravel finishes second there too, Buddy, um, it's just that little bit extra. You got to go out and get every point at this point just to kind of lock it down. So I think that adds to the, I don't know if it's the desperation, but I think it adds to the move. I think if it's not Buddy, maybe he doesn't pull it. I don't know. But it is just funny that it is David Gravel pulling this move. But yeah, good run for Carson Macedo here, recovering up in the second. Parker Price Miller with a nice run. Donnie Schatz with a nice run, a nice top 10 run. And Emerson Axum back in his 27. Started 20th, gets up into the top 10. Starting on the pole here at Angell Park Speedway. Be pretty interesting. Ever since he left, he went into that 18, the KCP Racing 18. Ran all right, but not really up to what he was running. Back into this 27 car, he's looking like he was earlier in the season, where you're just asking, hey, when is this guy going to get on a tour? Because he can compete probably for wins almost every night. And maybe with that car combination, if he stays there, which I think he will, I mean, it's just kind of funny to see the difference. He's obviously more comfortable in the 27 and has been able to kind of return to form a little bit. Cam Merriman, I'm not going to fight over my opinion on gravel Kofoid. I call it a racing deal. But Justin Fielder said something in his recent video that everyone is driving this way these days and that you can't get sympathy for these moves. That's probably true to an extent, but that wreck won't happen if, say, Lance or Schatz are involved. It's not everyone. Yeah, I mean, and listen, maybe that's why gravel. Another reason maybe why gravel, because Buddy's definitely won net races that way. We've seen him make moves like this. He is very aggressive. It seems like anybody that kind of comes from like the recent midget class drives a lot like that. You know what I mean? And Buddy's definitely one of them. So maybe that's an added element to why gravel pulled this move and saying, "Hey, I'm not going to take it anymore." I don't blame him, and I don't think it was that. I don't think it was that out of bounds, but it was enough. Austin Griffey, gravel knew what he was doing, but at the same time, it was for the win, and that's just my thoughts. Gravel knew what he was doing, though, going through that turn. Putnamville was badass. Rippers helping the 27 team this weekend, says Tyler Koenig. So that's interesting. So maybe that's
You think the guy would take a few weeks off? I mean,
Yeah,
damn,
really.
I guess he's bored already.
Well, I mean, maybe he gets a win here tonight with Emerson. They're rolling off now for this feature.
Yeah.
Taking a look at the points, David Gravel, he gets his 16th win there on Friday. Gets a little bit of a bleed now on Buddy. It was like 120 or 110 points. Now it's up to 134. And then Carson Macedo in third still. Logan Schuart, Sheldon Hansfield still your top five. Just stretching it out that little bit. But it's still within reason, if gravel has one or two bad nights here going the rest of the way. But they're running out of time as we look at the schedule. Angell Park here, and gravel's starting second in this feature. So we'll see how this goes. Next week, there are 81 Speedway and Arrowhead Speedway for the Arrowhead's the Jason Johnston Classic. And then it's the World Finals, but you do have 3 nights of racing there. So you have 6, because this feature hasn't happened yet. 6 more shots here to try to make up some of this ground. Buddy is starting 4th, I believe. So it's just going to be interesting to watch both of those guys. I don't think Buddy gets them. I think gravel's just been too consistent, but he has made it a little bit more interesting instead of it just being a total runaway by David Gravel.
Yeah, and Gravel continues to time trial. He went out fairly late tonight, set the track record to the top. So, man, that car can time trial. Good Lord.
Yeah, they got that dialed in for time trials, that's for sure. And then let's take a look at this weekend since we're talking about schedules here in this area. Saturday afternoon, BAPS Motor Speedway. It is the Britton Fickenbinder Memorial Race, 410 sprint cars, and wingless sportsmen. Pits open at noon, gates open at noon, hot laps at 2:30, and racing starts at 3 p.m. Tickets are available. I don't know if I got the infield parking passes. Gotta try that out. I think it's a pretty cool thing to be able to go and park in there, and I'm hoping I could sit in my truck bed and just kind of chill and watch it. It should be pretty awesome. See how they have it set up. I'm pretty excited for it. So Lincoln's done, Williams Grove's done, Port's been done, Sealands Grove is done. You got 2 more at BAPS here, and then Bridgeport sandwiched in there in 2 weekends from now, and that's it. It's really at the end here. Kind of sad, you know. It was good to see everybody at Lincoln on Saturday, but there was some kind of realization. It's like, hey, we probably won't see some people here who were hanging around. Won't see them for a few months, you know what I mean? So, unfortunately, that's the bad thing about the end of the race season. But Icebreaker, February 21st and 22nd, they did make that announcement. 21st and 22nd of February. Sounds crazy. But the following weekend was the 28th and March 1st, so I see why they moved. They always do it like that next to last weekend, usually. So up a little bit. But yeah, I'm excited for BAPS here. Plus the wingless sportsman. You know, we're going to be rooting on our boy Brett Perigo.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Tony Jackson.
Tony Jackson.
We do like Tony, but
yeah. Tyler Cummings, did you ask if you could take the camper in the infield? Yeah. Don't have to ask me twice. I will camp in the infield if they let me.
Shake all your shit loose in the inside of it. Kim's gonna be pissed.
I'll stand on top of my camper and watch, and then everybody will be bitching about their obstructed view.
Can't see. Jimmy's fat ass is in the way.
But yeah, I'm excited for this one. The weather looks pretty good. It's gonna be chillier. Obviously, it's gonna continue to get chillier here, but oh cool, my stream just stopped. Oh, now we're back. Oh, feature is underway for the Outlaws here.
Axum with the early lead. Gravel, Sheldon, and Buddy.
They're battling. Buddy and Sheldon are battling pretty good. This track's pretty cool. It's really flat.
It is flat, but it's like you can really kind of like go up real high and get the momentum. You would think that wouldn't work with a track so flat, but it seems to.
Mandy says T2T meetup at Motorsports Trade Show or Racing Extravaganza or something, or maybe before that. We did Racing Extravaganza last year. I'd like to do it again. We'll see what we're able to do, you know, in the winter here. But definitely would like to try to do something at some point. Yellow out lap 4. I guess, but that's really it. Quick drink it or dump it, and then we'll go watch this outlaw feature. Let me turn this off. Drink it, dump it. Put your drink it and dump it in the chat. We'll read them off. I'm gonna go first. I'm going to take the low hanging fruit. I am going to drink it to Cam Smith. Fantastic race, great way to end his season at Lincoln. Excited for the future for him. And I'm gonna dump it to Troy Wagaman for what could have been just like a hey, just keep doing what we're doing kind of night, and we'll be all right. Turned into anything that could go wrong did go wrong.
I'm going to drink it to the 2025 racing season. This is probably the end of it for me. I don't think I'm going to hit anything else the rest of the year. Based on schedules and timing. So that'll be it for me, what I did get to see Saturday. So I'll drink it to the 2025 season for racing. So great year. Love being a part of it. We'll see what next year holds, how much I can be at the racetrack and whatever else. Never know what turns life takes. But great season all around. Had a great year following the sport, and being in the pits a lot and getting to talk to a lot of drivers and a lot of great moments. Dump it. Is it cliche to say to the 2025 racing season because it's over? Like, is it both? Can it be both?
It can be, yeah.
I don't, I don't disagree with your dump it for Troy, and I would. That's an easy one to do, but I don't know if I'm going to because, yeah, that was maybe a goal they had or wanted to complete, but what a year at the end of the day!
still
Like,
fantastic
what a
year,
year
yeah.
for them. They did win the Williams Grove title. They, the track title, Lincoln by 5 points. They miss it, but what a hell of a year. I don't want to dump it to that necessarily. So same thing, maybe dumping it to that's it for me this season probably. So maybe I'll just do both on that end, a little selfish one on that
I'll dump
regard.
it
But
to
yeah,
that too.
What else y'all got? We got
Santos,
has his.
drink it to Cam Merriman on the W. Dump it to JJ Loss for the mistakes he made. Dump it for Troy for having that night he had. Honorable mention, as always, you guys for another awesome Sunday night show. Thank you, Santos. We'll probably start. We'll talk about it here more, but we'll probably start going every other week here pretty soon. Maybe starting next week, we'll see. Because if it's only BAPS next week, we'll kind of see what happens. So just keep an eye on our socials. Probably now that the season is pretty much over, it'll just be we're gonna do some different things. We're gonna try to get some drivers on, so it'll be the off season and everything. But a weekly show is probably not gonna happen until we start up. Get rolling again until probably February, March next year. So we'll probably start going every other week.
Taking the lead.
Sheldon, yeah. Ooh.
We're sliding each other.
Yeah.
They shoot a cool camera angle, from the top of on the outside of there it is. This angle right there. Look, that's cool.
That is awesome. Axum got that bottom to work in 3 and 4. Sheldon's coming right back. He's gonna take that bottom away. Oh, no.
Man, that's such a short way around.
Yeah. This track really widened out quick. It didn't seem that way in the beginning.
That momentum off 2 from the top is so good.
We're getting a lot of traffic now.
Oh, no.
Axum got held up. Sheldon is checking out.
All right, are we done? Let's get out of here.
Yeah, a couple more drinking topics real quick. Tyler says fantastic racing at Lincoln this year. Ross Perchak winning his 8th Windows National Open in the 270 class. Dump it to Scott Fisher, one of the good guys retiring, plus Travis Esch retiring as an owner. Yeah, for sure. Agree on all those. Mandy, drink it, Cam Smith, Tanner Holmes for the Trophy Cup feature win, and Joe Myers for the overall victory. Dump it to racing season being almost over. Troy losing the championship, Lincoln championship. Chase Deets JJ at Lincoln, all the wrecks, junk cars at Trophy Cup. Man, do they know how to tear a lot of shit up out there? Tim Kading's top wings. Cam Merriman, drink it to the dirt track racing community. The competition support friendliness of being around the racetracks all year is awesome. Love bringing my family and friends around to expose them to the sport. I'll miss it in the off season. Agreed. And dump it to no routine. Turn 2 terribles for a few months. Appreciate you guys putting on this on a regular cadence. Thank you. Yeah, we'll still be relatively regular. It's just when there's, especially after World Finals, just not going to be a need for a weekly show. Probably go every other week, 2 shows a month or something like that. We'll figure that one out. But yeah, we're going to go watch the end of this feature where Axum now fell back to 3rd. Gravel's in 2nd.
Gravel's kind of running Sheldon down a little bit
here. Yeah, he is. All right. Thank you guys very much. Keep an eye out. Right now, we'll probably have another show next Sunday, but we'll let you know. And if you're going to BAPS on Saturday, I know I'll be there. Come find me. And we'll have a beer and drink it to all you guys. Thank you guys very much. Have a good week.